Hey there, Basement Tapes 221. Boy, wishful thinking, huh? Starting all over again. 221 Basement Tapes, 1971. Topps Baseball. I believe I have the complete set of these cards. Of course, when I say complete set, I don't mean any kind of master set. That's a rarity for me. I can only think of really one master set I have, and that's probably the 64 Topps coins. But 755 of these in my collection, according to my count here. I've done a very deep dive into this in the past, probably about an hour's worth of stuff. So if you want to get your ears wet, you can dig into that. Otherwise, we'll just go through what we know here, and maybe we'll learn some more stuff by reading Beckett OPG and eventually TCDB. 90 rookie cards, 755 total cards. Average value $11.35. Total value $8,572.50. Set of these between $2,500 and $6,000. The set in this 752 card set measured 2.5. I'm sorry, the cards in this 752 card set measured 2.5 by 3.5 inches. The 1971 top set is a challenge to complete in strict mint condition because the black obverse border is easily scratched and damaged. An unusual feature of this set is that the player is also pictured in black and white on the back of the card. Featured subsets within this set include league leaders, 61 through 72, playoff cards, 195 through 202, and Wild World Series cards. I made that part up. 327 through 332 cards, 524 through 643, and the last series, 644 through 752. Are somewhat scarce. That's a big delta right there. That's 230 cards of scarcity. The last series was printed in 2 sheets of 132. On the printing sheets, 44 cards were printed in 50% greater quantity than the other 66 cards. There's math here, folks. These 66 slightly shorter printed numbers are identified in the checklist below as SP. The key rookie cards in this set are the multiplayer rookie card of Dusty Baker and Don Baylor, the individual cards of Bert Blyleven and Dave Concepcion, some dude from the Dodgers, and Ted Simmons. The Jim Northrup and Jim Nash cards have been seen with or without printing blotches on the card. There is still debate on whether those two cards are just printing issues or legitimate variations. Among the ways these cards were issued were in 54 card rack packs, which retailed for 39 cents. What a bargain there. 54 cards, 39 cents. What a time to be alive. Let's go to the top 3 here. There's some sneaky cards in this set. And let's see here. Roberto Clemente is a biggins. He's a short print, and he is a legend. And then Thurman Munson, rookie card. Second-year card for Thurman Munson, but his first solo card. And Nolan Ryan and Willie Mays and Dusty Baker, Don Baylor, and Tom Paciorek. That's a 3-player card. Again, it is a high number, 709 there. So there is a lot of deceptively sneaky, expensive cards in this set. Condition sensitive, as we learned, but also series sensitive and stuff like that. So anyway, let's get over to TCDB. Look at Manny Sanguian over there, by the way. I'm sorry. Teams depicted here are the Braves, Orioles, Red Sox, Angels, Cubs, White Sox, Reds, Indians, Tigers, Astros, Royals, Dodgers, Brewers, Twins, Expos, Mets, Yankees, Athletics, Phillies, Pirates, Padres, Giants, Cardinals, and Senators. Errors and variations. Boots Day has a great variation here, 42. You could see a stadium set of lights, a light pole behind his right ear in 42A, and then 42B, it is attempted to block it out. So that is a variation of unknown origin. Like, why would they do that? But that's not for me to ask. There's a coins checklist here, 161 A and B. There's a regular checklist, 123 A and B. The Northrup and the Nash black blobs are notated here. We could see the black blob in Jim Nash's card. We could see it without. So they were blacking something out that didn't exist and drawing attention to something that didn't exist. So Interesting little tidbit there. Let's get over to Mr. Northrup, I guess. Mr. Northrup's got the same thing. He's got a little bit of a black mark there on the right side of his card, and unknown reasons for that. Maybe somebody was trying to color in the borders a little prematurely there in the printing process. So, yeah, so that's those two cards. The rest are checklists and have to do with copyrights and all that stuff. Siri, I don't know why you just activated, so let me put Siri to bed over there. Anyway, coins checklist and the other checklist, just some sort of weird printing differences between whatever they did there. There are plenty of Hall of Fame cards here, 62 of them, and they include league leaders and rookie cards and non-rookie cards and all that fun stuff. So that's that part. Rookies, again, there's 89 of them, and big ones we talked about earlier. Insets and related sets. There's a lot of inserts. Inserts and related. There's scratch offs. There's coins. There's all-star rookies. And there are proofs out there. I don't know of any proofs myself, but these were inserts. And then Topps would have a lot of baseball cards other than inserts in the 1971 year. Scratch offs we talked about, so we won't go back and revisit that. Comments. There are plenty of comments here. This is a very popular set. Very, very popular set. So 2011, Bradley Kane says, these cards are the first cards I can remember having. They remain a favorite of mine. Sentimental, I guess. Trevor Muth says, I have one card from this set, and it has a yellow back. It says printed in Canada, trying to see I can submit an alternate photo. That's an OPG there, Trevor Muth. I don't have any of those OPGs. And then MAS says, you probably have an OPG. So there, that's riddle solved. Call off Leonard Nimoy, please. We do not need him. D. Henry 99999 says, I don't remember the first cards I bought as a kid, but I have a lot of 1971 baseball and football I bought up at our corner store. However, I do remember having hockey and basketball cards from a year earlier. I may have acquired them from my older brother, though. Anyway, I love the 1971s of all sports. Cheers. I agree with you.
Something went wrong. Please try again.
That is so bizarre. I never have my Siri activated. Coriolanus, I believe that's your name, Coriolanus or Coriolanus. I'm fairly certain this was the year that I started collecting up through 76. The sad thing about my collection is somewhere along the way, all cards roughly above 500 are missing. Andy Motozaki says, the first packs of baseball cards that I opened were from the 1971 Topps third series. Damn it, I just said Siri. Watch out, everybody. I had some older cards from friends and neighbors, but I had never opened my own packs. My dad bought me 10 packs at the grocery store. I figured out that they were from the third series years later because the only card that I remember was number 275 Vada Pinson. I mispronounced his name Vita because Vita Blue was having a phenomenal season and was the only name that I knew that was close to Veda. My dad quickly corrected me and said that Vada Pinson was a very good player. The photo on this card was taken at a very memorable game. I won't post a link, but you can use a search engine to search this card and see the great story behind the game and the photo used for this card. Hope it is still there when you search. Oh, yes, these packs had baseball coins in them. And there was that elusive Vita Blue card for all those fans following this phenom. Unfortunately, it would not appear until card number 544. So lots of stuff there from Andy. He's unloading his emotional diarrhea on TCDB. Round the Diamonds back. This was the last year the Topps listed incomplete statistics on the back of their card. So we'll get into that perhaps. 3 V's, 3 E's, 2 R's, and a G says, for about 40 years, I had 4 of these coins, Jenkins, Kessinger, Santo, and Morgan, without any idea of what they were. But I liked them, so I kept them, rattling around in the bottom of a box. I believe it was this site where I finally figured out what they were in 2011 or so. They must have come out of some of the very first packs I ever bought or was given. About a year ago, I finally added another one to the collection, and about 2 weeks ago, I finally got sick of seeing my spreadsheet of complete sets interrupted by 5/153 in 1971. So I've started my quest to complete this set. This meant going to a coin store to buy proper storage supplies, and there's lots of stapling involved to create the little holders. But I'm going to enjoy this. I'll have about 60 different ones once my eBay win arrives. I have a few to trade too. And the quest shall continue. They look fabulous in the binder, and many were missing scans of the backs on the site. So maybe I can get to level 7 here someday. V3. He's talking about the coins there. Bob's card says tops, greenbacks. Jay Clement 79 says, I started collecting baseball cards in 1971 and never stopped. I was 9 and my brothers and I got money by collecting deposit bottles tossed by the workers building new homes. A nickel apiece meant 2 for every pack. We did it all summer and had 3 time savers stores in bicycle distance. I think they stopped selling after 3 or 4 series. I really enjoyed completing my set later in life at card shows. I didn't even need a want list because I could pick out the cards I hadn't seen before. The want list came in later when I realized that the condition was important. Stevie J Vaughn says, actually, his name's Stevie J. I apologize. This was the first set of cards I collected on my own. I was turning 7 that summer. I remember going on vacation with my family to San Diego from New Jersey and bringing my 1971 cards with me and laying them out on the carpet of my grandparents' house. Great story there, Stevie J. Lahome 64 tells us the 1971 top set was my first. I immediately became obsessed with collecting, and I always spent my allowance on cards. Squonk 61 has checked in. He says, I also started my baseball card collecting fanaticism in 1971 and stopped buying wax packs when I started high school in 1976. Luckily, my story is a rare one as my parents moved twice after, but took my card collection with them and ultimately sent it back to me in the mid-90s, slowly finishing the 25% or so from my collections to finally arrive at complete sets. Possibly more fun now than when I was collecting them as a kid. I agree with you, Squonk. Really is fun collecting cards, of course. Yeah. We didn't realize how fun it was back then, but we certainly are able to stop and smell the roses now. Gold Black 21 tells us, yep, like some of the others on here, this was the first set I completed. Rough did not begin to describe the condition. Then, about 20 years later, my dad surprised me with about 1,500 1971 cards he bought from a guy he worked with and handed them to me. Much better condition. Still, it's probably an overall VGX set, but one I'd probably never part with. Cheers to you, Gold Black 21. Passe Gaming tells us these are a solid decade before my time, or even before being born. I had always thought they would have looked nicer without the white border. Well, yeah, maybe, but you need some sort of separation there, I think. But to each their own. Composer Mike tells us, besides the aesthetic beauty of the black borders, this set teases in-game action shots and horizontal layouts. During the next few years, Topps slowly pulled collectors away from stage shots and portraits and brought us closer into the game. The decade is a turning point in producing sports cards with some classic issues on the horizon. Composer Mike ain't lying. The 70s was a wonderful time for cards. The box from the wax boxes and the rack boxes, rack pack boxes, all that stuff, they're all black like the cards. Major League Baseball 1971, bubblegum, curved T, 10 cents for a pack of cards. Extra real metal baseball coins in each pack. Beautiful boxes. I don't have one up there. So maybe we should look at getting one of these in the future, John. You can get any gift in this exciting catalog, says the bottom of the box. Your supplier has very special boxes of 1 cent and 5 cent bazooka and 2 cent super blony bubblegum with valuable gift certificates packed inside. Save them for hundreds of luxurious items shown in the bazooka gift catalog. You'll get your gifts fast because saving Topps gift certificates is as easy as selling bazooka. To take a full color look at your wonderful selection of name brand gifts, cut out this coupon and mail it in now. Department C, Topps Chewing Gum, 254 36th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11232. Please send me the latest edition of the Bazooka gift catalog, illustrating hundreds of luxury gifts I can get free with Topps gift certificates packed in Bazooka and super baloney bubble gum deals. Name, street address, city, and state. Zip. They're no longer hectoring boys and girls to clearly put their zip code on there. It's just a given at this point. Win the Topps baseball card contest. So 71, you could doing an entry form, and you could be one of 1,000 winners to have your own baseball card printed up. I know that seems kind of blasé now, but it was quite a thing back then. So ask storekeeper for official entry blank. 25 grand prize winners will get their pictures on real baseball cards. 1,000 winners receive full color something major league. I don't know, something. I have to figure out what that says. Anyway, 25 winners got their cards on there. I hear about or see those every now and then. It's quite a fun little story to see. And little Timmy and Mary Jane Rottencrotch on a front of a card that Topps produced way back then, 50 plus years ago. Blue, beautifully artistically enhanced wax packs, curved tee, baseball, extra insert in each pack, one stick of bubble gum. The rack packs are there, 54 cards, we said, for 39 cents. Nice rack pack there with Bobby Valentine and Tom Seaver and Jerry Royce, a friend of the show at one point, for about 20 minutes. Trivia. Wax packs contain 8 cards for 10 cents. Veda Pinson, Thurman Munson can be seen in the foreground of Veda Pinson's card number 275. Number 355, Bud Harrelson. Nolan Ryan can be seen in the foreground of Bud Harrelson's card. Number 511, Chris Short. Pete Rose can be seen in the background. Leading off second base on Chris Short's card number 511. So here's the gallery. We see the world champion Baltimore Orioles leading us off there with pictured in their classic 70s uniforms. That's how teams used to get together, get their picture taken. Now it's a bit of a different story. People on shuttling up and down between the minor leagues, maintenance days, pitchers that can't pitch more than 4 innings, hitters getting hurt when they stub their hamstrings, all sorts of crazy stuff happening. So you can't get a team together anymore. But back then, we had teams, we had trainers, and we had clubhouse attendants, all sorts of people involved in the picture-taking process. Doc Ellis at Three Rivers, or Trace Rivera's, as we call it here in Pennsylvania. Anyway, beautiful cards. The backs, I will tell you that the fronts are beautiful. The backs are sort of lacking. Again, Topps says, or the comment section says, it's the last of the Topps sets where it's just one line year for stats plus the lifetime stats. But I find the green to be a little bit difficult. And of course, Topps is mired in greenbacks for most of the 70s. Let's read about Thurman Munson, because you probably want to hear about the first ever action card that Topps produced in the base set for one player. Yankees, Thurman Munson, catcher. He's got his all-star rookie trophy on the front. Beautiful signature across the bottom. Action photo and a horizontal landscape card, which was a rarity post 1960 for base players. Card number 5, Thurman Munson, New York Yankees catcher, height 5'11", weight 194, bats right, throws right. Born 6'7", 47. Home is Canton, Ohio. The 8th leading batter in American League in 1970. Thurman was voted AL Rookie of the Year and made Topps 1970 Rookie All-Star Team. A fine receiver with a strong arm. He releases the ball as fast as anyone. First year in Pro Ball 1968. First game in majors 1969. So Thurman's well on his way to having a great decade. R.I.P., my friend. And we move on from there. So anyway, that's the 1971 Topps baseball. Again, I've done a deeper dive into this, so I won't bore anybody else any longer. So proud to have this as a complete set. Took a while, and I can recall many of the places I picked up these cards and the help I had along the way. So that's it. Basement Tapes number 221.